Hey guys, this is Iggy back again with Dragon Blogger. So, as you can see in the system, I have the Arctic Freezer liquid cool unit up in the front. Now, because the air's got to be sucked in from here and then everything blown across here, this is going to generate some heat. So, and as I told you in the first video, the reason I didn't put it up here was because I thought that I was going to be getting the Sapphire Nitro R9390 8GB card liquid cooled, that it was going to come right here. Turns out that wasn't the case. So I've already done all my thermals and all my everything for the liquid freezer, for the freezer liquid cool unit up here. So, well, now what I'm going to do, just to make it better for you guys, I'm also going to test with it up here and then put this fan back in the front. So this is going to be sucking all the hot air out of here, and the front is going to be blowing air, cool air in. Again, it's going to be sucking it in with these little grates here, but it's a lot less airflow than this produces, so we'll be safe here. The great thing about having the liquid cool unit up here is, since hot air rises, it's going to be sucking all the hot air out straight out the top. Now you could have it the other way around, that it's blowing air in, but this is going to be generating some heat, or should I say this is going to be generating some heat, especially when you have overclocks, like I did in the testing. So when you're blowing air down, hot air is going to be blowing, mind you, it's not going to be amazingly hot, but it'll be warmer than it should, is going to be blowing down, but at least it'll still get sucked out. But what I'm going to do again is, this is still going to be sucking air out, the front is going to be blowing air in this fan, and then this guy is going to be sucking hot air out. So that's going to help a ton with thermals. But anyway, let me show you how I do this real quick, and come over here real quick. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we're just going to take off the front panel by removing the little pegs on the front. Let me go ahead and take off the rear panel real quick, just so we can get around the back. Alright, and just going to squeeze these to pop them out. Alright, that side's done. Alright, front panel has been removed. Now we just got to take these guys out. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but anyway, one other thing that we're going to have to do, since now we're going to be sucking air out of the case, is we're going to have to reverse the airflow. But that's alright, I'll show you guys how to do it. So at least with the written review, which you will get in a little while, you'll see just, what kind of airflow is going to be best for your case. This airflow was actually pretty decent. It kept the case relatively cool. Could have been better, but could have been much worse. And again, the airflow that went through the case was warmer than it should have been, though it wasn't really hot. The bad thing about liquid cool, it pretty much gets rid of airflow throughout the case. But the way I'm going to put it again now will definitely help that out. I'm not going to go over too much detail on disconnecting these cables since I went through it already in the other video, which I'll link to this one as well, just so you get a good idea of how it works. Alright, so now that everything's disconnected, we're going to go ahead and just move this up here. Let's go ahead and pull these additional cables out. And the way we have this, if we put it up, the way we have these fans positioned now, when we put it up here, it will be blowing air down, so we're going to have to take these out as well. Again, it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but I'm taking it for you guys so that you don't have to deal with it afterwards. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to reverse these so that, again, it's sucking hot air out of the case, out from the top. Now you need to have a case that, of course, has these little vents on the top. This particular case is the Fractal Design Define S, so it has plenty of space for that. As you saw, I could put it in the front or I could put it in the top. We're going to put it in the top again. All right. And I'm just screwing them in by hand right now for the pilot. Just kind of pilot holes just to seat everything properly. Alright, so now that I've screwed these fans in, we're going to go ahead and try to mount it on the top. So first off, what we're going to do is remove these noise dampening panels from the top. Alright, and now we're going to go ahead and install it on the top. And let's see, would I be installing it like this? Or I believe the other way wouldn't fit. Actually, this way fits perfect. Great. Alright, and then also I have to put the fans up here. Actually, I'm going to be doing that from the top. So what I'll do then, just so that you see everything, is I'll lay it down gently on its back. I just don't want that flopping around in there. Alright, so that was painless. Alright, so I'm going to be putting it in here. Again, alright, so it's sucking air out. This way would be sucking air in, and this way is sucking out. So I'm going to be putting them go ahead and just put everything, all the cables through these notched holes. Just because that's going to be really out of the way now. So I'm just going to be pushing all the cables and everything through here. Show you another smart thing in a second that Arctic did. A really great idea that I've never seen implemented before, of course, until I started using this unit. Alright, so what they've done here is, you can see here all these cables. They have, 4 different cables. But what they've done here, which again is an amazing idea, is they notched them so that all the cables can piggyback off of each other. So one plugs into the other right here, and then this one plugs into this one, and then this one plugs into this one. Now, that is going to cause the fans to spin up a little slower, since they're not going to have 100% of the power than if each and every one of these was connected to its own power source. But do you have 4 separate headers laying around? And you might have a Molex header or something that'll split that up. But again, this is a great idea. Alright, so now that all my cables, oh, and one thing I do have to do is, now that I have this final cable, or should I say this final cable, I'm going to feed this back in through the case as I did previously in the other video, and then plug this into the CPU fan optional. And again, you want to do that now, because afterwards that'll be next to impossible to do. Thank God for this lazy Susan I built. Alright, so right up here, you're going to be plugging this guy into one of these, headers here. Again, CPU fan optional, number 3. Alright, so it's plugged in. You may not be able to see it, but it's plugged in right up here. Alright, so now all I need to do is pull all these cables, just pull all the extras out. I don't need all that extra cabling in there. Now this might be a lot easier standing up, but it'd be a lot harder for me to show you. So again, just taking one for the team. Alright, so now we screw in the pilot. You don't want to screw it in all the way just yet. Alright, so now that has the radiator and all the and these two fans and this fan. Now I just got to move this bottom fan here up. But that should be relatively easy. I say should be. Nope, wrong hole. Alright, so just going to undo this guy. Alright, so it's going to go right here. Alright, so now we have this one and this one screwed in. So now the other ones, this one, whoops, this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, they should all be a lot easier now. Again, I use the word should. And I don't know if you could tell, because there's a lot of grading here, but you see how these are honeycomb, but this particular one is just a circle. That lets you know that you can screw it in there. So a great case design on Fractal's part, Fractal Design. Since I didn't screw anything tight, very easy to just make sure that everything is aligned perfectly well. Alright, and let me lower the camera so you guys can see the bottom. Alright, now that I have everything in, all 8 screws, I'm going to tighten a little bit. Now make sure you don't tighten too much, because you don't want to rip the threading out of the radiator. But just enough so that everything's nice and tight. so let's just make sure everything's pulled out of here nicely. Great, everything is. And okay, so we have everything plugged in, do we? Maybe we don't. Alright, so I missed that, but anyway, I'm going to get to that now, but you saw the basics of that. Alright, so I'm just going to take this guy out again, and yeah, it looks like I pulled it out of there. I don't know if you could see it. They're a little bent, my fault. I just got to fish this back through, and then I'll put this back. But you guys have seen the basics. I'm just going to put this back together, and when I have to put the front fan back on, when I'm done here, I'll start the video again. Alright guys, so as you can see right here, there's my radiator all along the top. Actually, I like it the way it looks a lot better here. I didn't think the hoses would line up well. And even though this is upside down, the Arctic, it really bugs me. You know, I'd prefer to have it the way I could read it. But if I did have it that way, with the radiator and the fans up here, the tubes would stick right onto the fans, and well, that just wouldn't work too well. So it would be obstructed, of course, but this way it works out well. I really wish I did something better with that signage, but either way. So now, even though this doesn't have anything to do with the liquid cool, I'm just going to go ahead and put this fan back up in the front. And well, if you want to watch, go for it, and if, well, you don't, you don't. So just going to fast forward it as well so you don't have to suffer through it. But if anything, just showing you a little bit of, you know, just how adjustable this case really is. Again, you know, I had the liquid cooling up in the front. I had the top opened up. Though, even though on the top you can put additional fans aside from the liquid cooling fans. But either way, I didn't have any fans there. Well, because I just didn't have any extra fans. But either way, you know, I'll link in this video as well as in the review. I will link in there the review for the Fractal Design Define S. I don't know why I always have such a hard time saying that name, but either way. Alright, the fan is just missing one screw that I'm putting in right now. Alright, and well, I'm just going to feed this cable through one of these little holes over here. Run it across. And then just feed it back through here to one of the fan headers on the board. Alright, that was easy. So there we go. Fans up in the front. Right up here. Liquid cooling's up in the top. And I'll put the front panel back on. Alright, so we're pretty much done here. So let me bring you up on the top so you can see how the liquid cool unit looks like up there. One sec. Alright guys, so here you can see, here are the two fans up on the top, and then here's the radiator down here. There is no cover for this, and which is not a bad thing, because if there was a cover, that would just drown it out a little bit more, so it wouldn't be able to suck up as much air. And again, it's going to be sucking the air from the inside of the case out of the case because heat rises. But again, I just wanted to show you how that looked. And let me just raise it up a little bit more. Alright, just from a little bit higher. But anyway, I'll be taking some pictures as well, just so you can see how it looks like. Alright guys, this is Iggy with Dragon Blogger, again showing you how to install the freezer, the Arctic freezer 240 millimeter up on the top of your case. Iggy with Dragon Blogger out. See you guys.